CEO at Nelco, is joining us to talk to us about just that. Hi, Mr. Nath. Good morning. Good to be speaking with you. Well, after a flattish first half of the year, at least in the Q3, we saw a double-digit growth come by. Going forward into Q4 as well as FY25, do you think this kind of recovery will continue and we'll see a double-digit growth going forward?
Thank you, and good morning. Yes, this quarter has been good, and since you've already talked about some of the highlights, yes, we've grown in terms of revenue. We've grown by 12% over same quarter last year and 9% sequentially, and that is very encouraging for us. And more importantly, our profits have grown significantly. So I think the profit growth has been much higher, and this is also because our revenue mix is changing, and we are getting more of service revenue as compared to equipment revenue, and that is positive. We normally don't give a guidance, but to give a perspective, yes, currently the way the business is happening, we expect to see more growth in the quarter four as compared to quarter three, and that is how we are looking for the business going forward.
Right. Okay. What I also wanted to understand was, your revenue mix in the third quarter, right? Enterprise versus in-flight and maritime connectivity. How do you see that shaping up? And how do you see this changing given the increasing demand for inline and, in-flight and maritime connectivity?
Okay, let me give a perspective. Today, our in-flight and maritime communication services, what we call IFMC, is about 27% of the total revenue. Now, within the in-flight and maritime, we have the maritime part and the in-flight part. In-flight is very steady. We are currently catering mainly to the international aircraft flying over India, and that's a good business. It's steady. The domestic airlines have not started. We expect that revenue to flow in another year to 2 years' time. Till that time, we will see mainly the international aircraft flying over India, and that revenue is steady. Maritime has done quite well. So maritime, we have been gaining traction in the various segments of maritime, be it cruise, be it in terms of energy, be it in terms of commercial vessels. So the maritime is good. So overall, we are very happy with the way our in-flight and maritime communication business has been progressing, and we've been gaining more market share in that. And similarly, enterprise also has been doing well. The quarter three both have grown, but maritime growth has been higher than what was happening earlier.
But you talked about the next leg of growth, which will come from the connectivity of the domestic flights. Give me a bit more clarity in terms of what's the timeline of that. Have you actually signed up with any of the airlines for that as well? What's the outlook there?
We haven't signed up with any airline right now, but there are a lot of discussions happening. I've shared earlier in some of the other interviews that I gave in some of the media houses, is that it takes a lot of work to be done in terms of making an aircraft becoming connected for offering internet on the aircraft. And there's also the business case involved in terms of what's a typical flying time within the country, and within that flying time, how much of usage will be there, etc. Plus, getting a flight equipped with the necessary satellite communication devices to make it ready for IFC also takes time. And then the issue of how it is not an easy job to configure an existing aircraft and fit it with the SATCOM devices, as compared to a new aircraft coming, which normally comes fitted with all the SATCOM devices. And the newer aircrafts which are coming in will start coming in, I think, towards the end of the year onwards. So that is one set of aircraft. And when it comes to the existing ones, what we call the retrofit, there we'll have to put the equipment on top of that and then make it happen. And therefore, we believe that it'll take about a year to year and a half before we start seeing real internet connectivity on the domestic routes. Until that time, it will be mainly the international aircrafts, both going from India out as well as all the international vessels flying over India.
Okay, Point taken. Mr. Nath, on that note, we'll have to let you go. Appreciate you joining us. A short conversation today, but a little paucity of time keeps our conversation limited. But would love to chat with you further. But time now to slip